Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depends where you are. My name is Kfir Pravda, and I will be the host of this short session between now and for the next half an hour. I'm going to start with a couple of slides. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. My co-host here is Yael. She's with me on this session, and she will be able to help us navigate through this virtual event. So today we're going to talk a bit about virtual events in the context of sales and marketing, meaning how you can accelerate your sales and marketing efforts using virtual events. A word about PMG. PMG is a buyer engagement company, which means that we are helping our clients to accelerate their sales and marketing processes by building for them, executing, and providing the relevant technology for integrated sales and marketing solutions. It could be account-based marketing, demand generation, account-based selling, sales engagement implementation, and best practices, and so on. We're working usually with companies selling globally, and we're helping them to expand even more and faster. We are doing three things for them. We're helping them to, we have three types of services, let's call it this way. We're helping them to get from awareness to MQLs with marketing services, from SQLs to renewals with accelerated sales services, and end-to-end engagement programs from everything from awareness up to renewal with revenue programs. Okay, we're also providing the methodology, the service, and the technology. But that's us. Let's talk about what's happening across the globe and the challenges that we're all facing in the new reality. Okay, so you remember there were times before COVID. The year and many of the marketing and sales programs looked like that, right? We had a year long of activities, but they usually had key events. Each industry had its own key event. If you're talking about telco, for example, there you had Mobile World Congress and NAB. And you know, we all remember that Consumer Electronics Show that used to be huge in the market. But then something has changed. Virtual events are a huge challenge for all of us. We have COVID, we cannot create those in-person engagement, those face-to-face events. And if in the past, brands were using these events as a way to capture the attention, but also create an emotional attachment of the audience, now it's much harder, right? What you see here on the left, you see here a picture of, it looks like a rock show, right? Like a concert, but it's actually a Salesforce event. You too were playing in this Salesforce event several years ago. Nothing could create the same emotional attachment in a virtual event as being a part of this huge crowd under a banner of a huge brand like Salesforce. You cannot duplicate it. And many companies are trying, but it just doesn't work. We have low emotional attachment, even in this session, right? I mean, we have this cool platform that we are able to walk around and see those booths and stuff like that. It doesn't create the same type of engagement like we had when we were able to meet face-to-face. The experience itself, while it's pretty cool, if you're going to look to your left outside of your screen, you will be out of it. You will not be fully immersed in it like you used to be when you were in those huge events in the industry in the past. And networking is pretty much functional. You know, in the past, when you were going to these live events, the networking venues were the most important part of the whole thing, right? We were trying to spend time there, to meet the relevant people, to walk the floor. Now it's very artificial. We don't really get that. And then our year looks completely different. And by the way, remember we talked about CES? Miles and miles of booths, tons and tons and tons of vendors all around, mecca of consumer electronics. All websites were filled with news about the new announcement from there. As we speak, CES is launched. As we speak, CES is actually happening. How many of you are engaged in it? How many of you care about it? You don't really. Why? Because it's not having the same gravitational force that a face-to-face event had in the past. So now engagement looks completely different. We have a year-long, multiple touch points across the year. Some of them are a bit higher. For example, here we're still talking. We have here several people that are listening, and I'm able to capture your attention. For a while, some of you would leave, probably before I finish my session, hopefully not. Some people will jump in because it's just a link on a URL, right? But we do have those spikes, but they are much lower when we're talking about the impact of them. So for us, for sales and marketing professionals, we need to make a difference. We need to work differently now. And we cannot cut and paste the same strategies from the pre-COVID era. And I would say one more thing. Yes, there are now vaccination, and we have more and more countries are starting to figure out how to live next to COVID. But it will take time, and I bet that it will take several years before face-to-face events and conferences will have the same impact as they had before COVID. Why? One reason would be is because I have here people in this session that don't need to leave their house. And these people are able to have this discussion, be a part of this session, and right after that, go and have dinner with their kids. So in order to get you to leave your house and go on a plane and fly to another country in order to go to a face-to-face event, this event needs to be outstanding, exceptional, with a huge value. So I believe that many of these events will not happen anymore. And more buyers will be making all of their engagement using digital channels. So now what? What are we going to do about it? Okay, let's talk about how to build your plan when you're going to a virtual event. So if in the past we've used to invest a lot of effort in what's happening in the event itself, right? About the booth and creating those cool giveaways and cool activities around the booth engagement itself and getting people to give their cards and so on. Now we're changing the way that we're investing in the virtual event itself. 40% of the effort need to be pre-event preparation, which means figuring out who registered, doing an outreach, researching them, see who is relevant to meet with us, doing an outreach to them and making sure that we're getting their attention before the event, and doing as much work as possible in order to get them to engage with us at and post event. 10% is the live event investment. Preparing the presentation, doing the presentation as we're doing now. We are able to do some more engaging or some different games during the session and stuff like that, okay? So it does require effort and focus, okay? But the major part of the investment is before the event, but even bigger than that, after the event. Follow-up. Follow-up is the most important part here, right? Because now I know that the people that have registered to this session or that are participants of this session are actually interested in a way to integrate virtual events within their strategy, which means that they've shown me their interest via a digital signal, and I'm able to reach out to them after this event. It means also that the focus in the whole project plan is all about tailoring the messaging and the value prop to each of the relevant people we're talking with. Because we need to be very, very focused and talking with them about what they need. Why? Because this is just another webinar. This is just another virtual event. This is just another virtual masterclass. They can reach out, they can participate in tons of them all over the globe because they are not leaving their house. So we need to be able to reach out to them with a very specific message that will entice them to talk with us. In order to do that, we need to do proper research. We need to prepare to reach out to them before the event, and post-event, we need to invest as much as possible in re-engaging with them. Now, I can tell you that when we've looked at statistics from our clients, we've seen that the usual outreach cadences and methodologies that salespeople are using post events, especially in enterprise deals, are not working as well when you're comparing it to what's happening with virtual events. It's a completely different way of looking at it. Okay, so 40% before the event, 10% at the event, 50% in the follow-up phase. Okay, but we still need to find a way to have a human touch. How do we still create that? Well, we're not able to meet. The answer is video. And there are different ways of doing that. One is what we're doing now, right? We're doing this virtual session. I'm doing putting some slides. Hopefully you'll have some questions. I'll be happy to answer, and so on and so forth. One too many. But there are ways for you to record personalized video, one-on-one videos that could be sent via email. This is a good way for people to feel more attached to the person that reaches out to them. One of the things that we know, for example, is that when you're doing an outreach using a video, without a video touch point in it, without including anything in this cadence, in this outreach process that includes a personalized video, we're getting 8% of, in some cases, 8% response rate. But as soon as we add a video to that cadence, we get 10%. So it's 25% increase. And that's extremely valuable when you are talking about having a lot of, when you're targeting large accounts, that every touch point matters. I can show you afterwards, if we'll have enough time, how it's done. Technically, it's very, very simple. Okay. How do we do a pre-event outreach? What you see here is a cadence that is multi-channel, that is a best practice on how to reach out to a person before the event. And what you see here is the following. First of all, we're spreading the touch points across 14 days. That's point number one. Point number two, we are using multiple channels in the same cadence: an email invite, a LinkedIn connection request, a video reminder, an email, and so on. And we're doing it in a systematic way. We're creating the content and beforehand, and it's not an email that is sent in a blast, meaning you're doing it by personalizing each touch point to the person that you are sending it to. This is extremely important when you're hitting enterprise account. Post-event cadence could be smaller, could be shorter. So here you see another example that again shows different types of channels. We're using both emails and LinkedIn. We're also integrating videos in it. These cadences that I've just shown you are proven to increase response rate based on hundreds of millions of touch points. So it works, and it works even better when it is personalized. Generally speaking, if you personalize an email between 10 to 20% of its content, you will get a considerably higher response rate than sending a plain vanilla same text to your whole database. A word about account-based marketing. When we're talking about account-based marketing, we're actually saying, hey, there are a couple of accounts that are more important than others. Okay, so let's go back and think about the graph that I've shown you in the beginning. You remember I've shown you this graph that shows that all those touch points across the year are pretty much the same. The way to leverage virtual events with account-based marketing is by using these virtual events as one of the touch points that you have with that account. So let's say that you want to sell to AIG. You have a solution for AIG and you're trying to engage with them. So you're running an account-based marketing program with paid campaigns using 6 Sense or demand-based and so on, and you're getting their awareness up and you're getting the intent data. Then you are taking them to the next step, and you're maybe even doing an outreach via an SDR, and you're creating some top of the funnel content and so on. But then if you're looking at the virtual events that you're participating in as a touch point within this longer engagement program with these ABM accounts, you are able to tailor the outreach, inviting them to this virtual event based on the engagement you are trying to create with them. So if, for example, you're trying to sell to IAG a specific solution that answers a very specific pain point for them, the outreach for them that invites them to this event, to the virtual event that you are running or participating in, will talk about that specific message. In a sense, We're turning virtual events to be another touch point, just another touch point. A touch point that might show a bit more force, a bit more, but still it will be another touch point in the way. So when you are building this year-long, multiple touch points, a very elaborate account-based marketing program, take a look at the virtual event plan that you have and embed those events within your account-based marketing program. Now, the nice thing is, remember all those cadences that I've shown you, all those strings of emails that you are sending them, emails and LinkedIn touch points and videos and stuff like that. You can take all of that, and when you remember, we're customizing the value. So before the event, the pre-event outreach will be customized to the AIG value prop, the value prop that we want to offer to AIG. And the post event will be about that as well. And maybe even within the session itself, you will mention some of the value props specifically for them. Hopefully there will be in the audience, in the virtual audience. That's how you can basically run two GTMs, two go-to-market plans, and use in parallel and use the virtual event in both. If in one, you are going to reach out to the accounts and you might invest X amount of time in personalization and research, you might not talk about previous touch points with them and just invite them based on the value prop to that company. Those tier one accounts, those important accounts, will get a personalized outreach and post-event cadence. And by that, you are actually embedding the virtual event in your account-based marketing program. You are reaching the with another value prop. And at the end of the day, you are also getting to the situation that if they engage with you there, you are able to follow up with them within the context of the account-based engagement you are trying to create. Technologies. There are three core technologies that we recommend when we're looking at how to run the supporting efforts around the virtual event and to make it successful. So there are the two main tools for marketing automation. It could be Marketo, it could be HubSpot, depends on your company and its needs and which go-to-market you have, more inbound related, more outbound related, and so on. And there are two additional technologies that do wonder, right? One is VDR. VDR is a platform for sales videos and also marketing video hosting. And you are able to use it in order to create those personalized video emails that you can send to your targets. It's basically a plugin in your Chrome that you click on it and you can record video within an email. And also when they click on it, they get to a branded page with a button at the bottom to set up a meeting with you. Very nice, very neat. SalesLoft is a sales engagement platform. All those cadences that I've shown you and much more are being implemented within a sales engagement platform. And then you're running those cadences in that tool. We highly recommend it. It's a very, we're using it, our clients use it, and it enables you to do all this type of personalizations. So this is it for my end. We have 10 minutes until the end of the session. First of all, we have a booth, a virtual booth. You are more than welcome to check it out. And you'll have there a couple of papers, a case study, but also a link to book a meeting with us. And in the time that we have left, feel free to ask whatever questions that you might have. We can use the chat for that. You're welcome, Christina.
Maybe if you have some time, we can show the video that we planned to show before.
Yeah, how about we do that? Just a second. Okay. Okay, so let me share with you. Okay, So here you can see my Gmail in that aspect. It also works, of course, with Outlook. And here you have this small video, a video button. When I click on that, now look, I have here a plugin for Chrome. It's very, very simple. I can click on that. It opens a video library. Here I can have pre-recorded videos. It could be my videos recorded for one-on-one communication, but it is also a good way to get marketing videos to the hand of salespeople, right? So for example, we have here how to measure account-based marketing activities and so on. So you are able also to send videos that were pre-recorded by marketing. But let's say I want to send a personalized video to Christina that said, thank you. I can click here on new video and you can see your camera recording. And then you can see the background of my actual room. But at the end of the day, you can record here a one-on-one video, talks to the person that that we are sending the email to, and taking it from there. So that's how you do the video. And for those who are interested in understanding how cadences look like, this is our cadence engine. For example, this is an email that this is the cadence that we've sent for pre-event. It's not based on best practice because of the short time that we had, but basically we're able to manage it through this tool that enables us to run these kind of programs. And that's when I was looking to see what's happening with CES. Look at this experience, very far from what all of us remember of CES in the real world pre-COVID. Any other questions? Okay, so visit our booth and feel free to set up a meeting with us and to talk about whatever questions you might have. We can show you some cases of how to actually run that as a part of your marketing program. And also we can talk about other needs you might have in account-based marketing, demand gen, and sales acceleration. We'll also put here our book a meeting link for those who are interested. Okay, thank you very much. And we can close the session now and make sure that the person that comes up right after us will have enough time to prepare on their own as well.
Thank you all very much. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.